Hi, I'm Darryn Farrugia and welcome. Here's another groove concept from my book, Groove Perspectives. And basically what this is a layered hand pattern, but with some bass drum variations. So what I want to do first is break apart the actual hand pattern that I'm playing. So remember that it's a layered hand pattern. So what that means is that there are multiples of sounds occurring at one time. In this case, either two sounds occurring at one time, and then when we add the bass drum, it'll be three sounds. So the layered hand pattern is obviously just multiples of two. Let me explain that to you. Let's start with the right hand. The right hand pattern is based on an Afro-Cuban rhythm called the Cascara. And if I play this in the Afro-Cuban style with the clave, you will hear that I'm actually playing it with a 3-2 clave. So here's an example of the hi-hat pattern with the clave on the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to take that hi-hat pattern and I'm just going to play that on its own so that you can hear that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Normally Afro-Cuban rhythms are written in cut common. That is, that particular pattern would be made up of quarter notes and eighth notes. But what I want to do is double the notated rate of that, so it's written as eighth notes and 16th notes. So if I count this, 1, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. That's how I'm presenting this to you today. If I was playing it as a Afro-Cuban rhythm where it's notated in cut common time, I would count it like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Etc. So the pattern sounds exactly the same, it's just notated differently. So we're thinking of it as 16th notes. That's the right hand pattern. The left hand pattern is playing this. And I'll count it in pretty slowly. 1, 2, 3 E and a 4 E and a. So the first snare drum accent is actually on the 4th 16th note of beat 1. This particular groove, I'm positive I've heard Steve Gadd play it, or at least he's played something very similar to this. And here's certainly where the inspiration comes from for this particular groove. Anyway, I'm going to put both hands together and check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the layered hand pattern. So I'm adding bass drum to this, and basically you can just put the bass drum anywhere you want. What I do for the most part is I play the bass drum usually where there is a right hand stroke. So for example, we can just start with a bass drum on beat 1 and leave the rest of the bar empty. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can put a bass drum on beat 1 and then 2 E and R3. Let's check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can play the bass drum on the first 2 eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So on this particular page in my book, there's a whole bunch of different variations that you can play on the bass drum based on mostly what the right hand is doing, but occasionally you can throw some bass drum notes with the left hand. For example, if I play a bass drum on the and of 2, so I'm going to play beat 1 and the and of 2, then that and of 2 will fall in unison with the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get the idea. I'm just going to play for a little bit. I'm going to take the tempo up and I'm just going to throw in some different bass drum variations. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you go, there's a groove that you can have a little bit of fun with. It's a layered hand pattern. The right hand is based on an Afro-Cuban groove called a Cascara in 3/2 clave, and I've just added a left hand pattern to complement that and create this particular layered hand pattern. The bass drum patterns, well, you can make them up, but there's a whole page of those bass drum variations in the book. So if you want to check out the book, I'm going to leave a link to that in the description underneath. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do. I'm also going to follow up this video with the same pattern but orchestrated in different ways using the cymbals and the toms, etc. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe, and remember to hit that notification bell so that you know when I've uploaded a video, which is every week. So until next week, have a great week. I'll see you all soon. Bye. So here's another page. So here's another exercise, and I'm going to demonstrate what I. So here's another exercise. Here's another. So here's another groove from my. So here's another groove Here's another groove concept from my. No, that's not what I want to say.